Yes, sir.
I'm Drew Campbell. Welcome back to the channel. I'm in my buddy Mike Barone's shop, and we've got some parts laid out in front of us for a new fun project. You've been planning this one for a while.
Yes, it's been in the works since July.
Well, just like the title of the video says, it's a 250R build. Barone Boys Racing is putting this one together. Mike Barone himself has laid everything out, and it's all got an interesting texture. Why don't we start with that? These parts seem to be covered in powder coat, or
some of them are powder coat, but most of them, like these parts, are all Cerakoted by me. All the brakes, levers, spindles, hubs, that's all been Cerakoted. You know, little parts like that.
If people aren't familiar with the Cerakoting process, explain that to me.
It's a spray-on coating, ceramic coating that you spray on like you would powder coat, but it's not powder, it's like liquid you spray it on like paint, and then, you know, you bake it in an oven for a certain amount of time at a certain temperature. And
is it hard like powder coat?
Yes.
So it's
very durable,
for racing.
Very durable.
Yeah. And is there a heat limit on this stuff? Like
no.
You can't coat a head pipe, can you?
Yes, you can.
Really?
Yes.
Because I want to do the exhaust to mine.
Yep, you can definitely do it.
But it has
like
to,
this.
It has to fit in an oven.
Yes, I mean, obviously I just have a small oven here for the small parts that I mostly did. The bigger parts are all powder coated, like this is powder.
Sure.
You know, the A-arms are powder. Subframe is powder, stem is powder, and that's about it. Yeah. You know, everything else is Cerakoted. When I got this motor was in pretty rough shape. Obviously, you know, it's from '89, so it's got some age to it. I broke the whole thing, a whole motor down, Cerakoted every part on here, so the engine cases, the head, the cylinder, stator cover, and the kicker.
Now, is this an expensive product to work with?
It's not bad at all, actually.
Like I did take some footage of your setup over there.
Yep.
Those little bottles, what was one go?
$35.
That's not too bad.
No.
And how much?
You get quite a bit out of it. You get quite a bit out of it.
So you could do an entire engine with one bottle.
Yeah, oh, easily. Yes. So we broke the whole thing down. I sent it out to get vapor blasted. So the cases, the stator cover got vapor blasted first. It makes the outside look brand new aluminum. Yeah. So it looks brand new, no matter how old it was, what it looked like on the outside. Like the guy didn't do a very good job, who I got this machine from. This stator cover, you took the stator cover off and it was completely caked in rust inside. Stator was bad, everything, so it was all refurbished.
So everything got cleaned and then coated and then assembled
I coated
by yourself.
it. Yep, and then I rebuilt the whole thing.
Tell us about your internals. Is there something special in there, or do we just go stock?
No, all stock 250R parts.
So before we go any further, you are building this for a certain discipline of racing.
This is for cross country.
Cross country racing. And with that in mind, are you building the torque curve, power curve any differently on this motor that you want?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, so this cylinder here, I sent the cylinder back to Duncan Racing to have him check it out, make sure everything was good inside, which it was. He put a new piston in it for me and everything. And when I got this motor, they had polished this whole motor. This whole motor was polished, so it was a very shiny. I didn't like it. It just wasn't my style. Yeah. So you couldn't see they polished the engraving off the side here, which Drew could probably get on camera later, but they polished the engraving, so I sent it back. I Cerakoted the whole cylinder first. I sent it back to him so he can re-engrave it, and you know, that's how it turned out. I think it turned out awesome. Yeah. It's a 305 with a Rotex power valve.
That was my next question, if you kept it stock.
No, it's a 305.
Okay.
Duncan made...
That's going to pull really hard.
Duncan made a couple of different cylinders. They make a 265, a 275, a 305, and a 340.
Somebody makes a 310, not Duncan.
No, there's plenty of other like ESR makes a 310.
Okay, so this is a 305 Duncan.
This is a 305 Duncan, yep.
Beautiful.
Rotex power valve.
And estimated horsepower out of that motor?
I'm guessing in the 50s somewhere.
How are you going to feed it its fuel?
A lot of guys run either 38 PWK Air Striker carbs, which is a regular carb, or 39 millimeter carbs. I decided to do something different, and I'm going with Electron, which is no jets, no jetting. It's all the dirt bike guys are going to these into 2 strokes. Yep. So I decided to give it a try.
Has anybody tried it with a 250R?
Yes, I think there's some guys and they seem to love it. So we'll see if it don't work good enough. We'll just switch. Do you want to talk about that frame?
Yeah, let's talk about the frame. Let's get the camera in a different spot.
Okay. This is a Roll Design LOBO 250R chassis.
There's history to that.
Which are very, very sought after, very rare. And I happened to get very lucky one day and was able to acquire this.
It's a LOBO frame.
Yes. So there was only 74, to my knowledge, that were made, according to everybody.
Now, was it in this good shape? Did you have to gusset?
No. You don't have to gusset these. These are aftermarket frames built to withstand, you know, the demands of racing. You don't have to take a stock. It's not like taking a stock frame where you have to gusset it. You don't have to do that.
Was he building them for cross country?
Yes. So back in the 99s, 2000, 2001s, if you go look at all the pros, lots of them were on Lobos.
A LOBO frame.
This one actually came, so the original, I don't know who the original owner was, but there's a guy, 651 Motorsports, his name is KW. He has a museum of all the old LOBO 250R chassis, plus he has other stuff, a lot of Lagers. He has Chris Borch's old 250R. He had this after the original owner. He turned this into a Brad Page replica LOBO from back in the early 2000s.
And Brad was a pro XC1 guy.
Yes.
On a 250R.
Yeah. Sponsored by Lobo, you know, Roll Design. So this was a replica of that.
Very nice frame. So I think we're going to get started on today's build. I'm going to hit record on the GoPro for a time lapse. Mike and John are going to jump on the wrenches and get started. I guess the first step is engine in the frame.
We're going to put the skid plates on underneath first, and then we're going to, and then we're just going to, and then we'll put the engine in.
All right, we'll get to it. Cheers.
All right, cheers, boys.
Look at the onboard footage. It's absolutely horrible.
Oh, it's terrible. It'll just come on this side off and shoot through. Now we're going to put the front motor mounts on. I have titanium for these. These come from Pro Bolt. I got these from Blake at DBC Racing. Yeah, so this goes like this, and then there's a space, a little spacer on the bolt that holds that like that. You know how long I waited to get this build started? It's been killing me not putting a part on this frame.
And why'd you wait?
I waited because I wanted to film the whole thing, and the film guy took forever. So, but I mean, this is what it is. Good. Gotta push it down. Yep. All right, now we're gonna put the stem in.
I didn't see bars. What are you doing for bars?
I got them over there. Tag. I have the original Tag 2s that came on it. I haven't decided if I'm gonna keep them yet or do flex bars. So Roll Design makes their own stem for these. This will only fit a roll, and this little thing mounts to the frame. Like this.
want to do front or back?
Front, we can do front.
Do something cool. Do like a heel clicker on your way back to the frame or something.
You do it.
Oh!
Yeah, pile of grease, eh?
That looks sharp. For some part that you're never gonna see.
Yeah, that all matters.
So next step is A-arms.
Yeah, we're gonna do A-arms first.
Let's do it.
Oh, I got these without a hammer. That's amazing.
All right, Mike, while you're doing that, explain the roll design here. Is it gonna keep you at stock 250?
No, they are. See, if you look right here, this frame is very narrow, so it's narrower than a OEM 250R frame.
Show us how much wider a 250R would be.
I mean, they're probably like that.
Oh, significantly wider.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, so these are probably +1 or +2 arms, but because the frame is so narrow, it makes it as narrow as a stock 250R, I believe.
So it equates to an equal width. If you were to mount them on a standard 250R frame, it would be a little bit.
Yes, yes, and it uses standard travel shocks. Okay, once you get them in, now we can do this little bangy bangy. Can you give me that orange wheel? Yep. You don't like it? Where's that flashlight? Right here.
Got the same plastic washers on this upper that you got to use on the lower.
Didn't like fun.
Not too tight. So you're lubing up your pole?
Yes, this is a titanium swing arm bolt from Forworks. This is a LOBO swing arm. They made two versions of this. This is the straight version, I guess the original version you can call it. Then they came out with a gull wing, so it angles up a little bit in the back section here. And they did that for more ground clearance. And it's very subtle after you can't even, it's very hard to even find them. But this one came with the regular, so regular's going on.
Like butter.
They're so easy.
Everybody usually goes with the PRM, so same as the axle anti-fade nuts, which is, it's just plain looking to me, but I really like the way that looks. That's why I went with the Fireball one.
So it wasn't something they ran on this quad 20 years ago?
No. Sure.
Mike is trying to replicate what was raced 20 years ago with a couple of custom touches. Where are you gonna mount the turbo?
Right under my ass. You gotta come to me. This until it stops, then we'll push it out. Like that. And then this goes on like this. That's it, now she's on. And then you tighten your, now she's locked. Now you tighten these two. And she's tight. She's gonna need a little rope.
There you go. So on either side, they gotta expose this notch just to get it clipped on to hold everything in place. That doesn't look brand new.
It's not. It's like, there was no needed to get a new one.
There's a dirty part on a all.
It's not dirty, I cleaned the shit out of it. That's just the tire, the chain marks in it. I almost Cerakoted it so it looked new.
That would have been awesome.
That would be cool though, but I didn't, so.
All right, well, everybody on YouTube's gonna know you're cheap.
It's okay.
It's almost like a trophy where you just want to build this for the man cave and put it up on the
And
shelf.
put it in a bubble and
Yeah.
let it sit there.
But
in
then you couldn't play with it.
yeah. Here. Now we have tie for those too.
Got it.
Titanium does not corrode like stainless or anything else. It does not corrode. So, you know how on like the 450Rs, your pivot bolts, you can't get them out? If you put a titanium in there, it'll never corrode to that, it'll pop right up.
But your kids won't go to college.
Or you won't eat.
Or you don't eat for a year. What do you think the weight will be? Roughly.
I think how much they weigh.
They're not heavy.
It's gotta be under 400, right?
Yes.
I'd say it'd be low 300s.
Low?
Yeah.
Yeah, because my quad is 385 dry, the 450Rs. 375, 385. And I know these weigh less. Right?
Yeah. Man, I couldn't imagine, especially after racing a 900-pound 4x4.
This will feel the same as that,
Because I probably
power-wise.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be able to hang on to it. I get such bad arm pump with a Renegade.
Oh, the problem with that's the problem with the two strokes. You hit power band, you're fighting your arms the whole time.
You're tensed up.
No better sound than smell though. So right now we're just finishing this out real quick. We're gonna put this bumper on, we're gonna be done for the night, and then we're gonna attack it again tomorrow morning.
We're gonna be filming now. We already are, guys. So you You can't come in and out anymore.
Okay, cool.
You're gonna have to go play in traffic, okay? But you can't be in here right now.
Bro, he's just joking.
Yeah.
Day 2, we wrapped up around 6 o'clock last night. We ended up going out for some dinner, but we're gonna pick back up today and start with.
We're gonna put the carb on today.
You got that ready to go?
Yeah, we're gonna do a couple of little things because we're missing a couple of parts. That'll be here tomorrow, unfortunately.
You said pegs are going on
We're gonna
today.
do pegs, rear brake pedal, radiator mounts, probably the coil mount, and probably that's about it for today.
All right, so we're still waiting on a few parts before we can complete this. So the video is only gonna be part 1, I think, of 2, right?
Yeah.
Eventually we're gonna see you rip this thing, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll probably at least get majority of the quad finished up today, and then in part 2, we'll button up all the final details and hopefully ride it.
Yep.
Awesome, well I'm gonna let John step in, give you a hand, let's get started.
All right. The CDI goes here, so we'll do it on this side, so it just all flows in a line, you know what I mean? In this quad, we're running a 2001 CR250 ignition and CDI, so we're gonna mount that up right now. Once you get into the bigger motors on here, like the 300s, and then when you get even bigger, the CR250 torque, the curve in the ignition is way better. It revs way faster because you're using a smaller, lighter flywheel. And also, when you start these, there's a kickback, and it's not fun. And this pretty much eliminates that.
So no chance of catching your shin or breaking
Right.
your leg. Yeah. While you're doing that, we should explain that, yeah, I'm a race channel. I show a lot of race videos, but these guys are both racers themselves, and they know what they're doing when they're putting together a four-wheeler. So this is something actually John has to do with his race team every year. And you have 3 or 4 machines you maintain?
We have 5 right now.
Yeah, 5 machines.
this
So
year.
it's a pretty regular occurrence. These guys just aren't guessing their way through this build. It's something that they've both done on a regular basis.
That's correct.
Whatever I don't use of talking, I cover with music. However, do you know what ASMR means?
I see it all the time.
Right, it's the natural sound of his ratchet recording. Nobody talking, no music overlaid.
I think people appreciate stuff like this because they don't get to see it every day.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think
Especially
so-
this is like I've said before, it's like a wet dream for guys our age.
Yeah, especially our age.
Yeah, because we all wanted 250Rs growing up, but some of us didn't
I
have them.
think your buddies that's doing the hybrid, you know, as a kids today, that will make them excited to see. But
Right.
this will, from 40s to 50-year-olds, this is definitely what they want to see. Does that space go between?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. You know, and all these parts of these 250Rs now are all like aftermarket, custom made stuff because, you know, there's no parts made for it anymore.
Tell us about the suspension you're waiting on that you have for this thing.
It's custom axis, just stock travel. That's what all the Lobos were for the cross country, was just stock travel, no long travel. Because, you know, we're in the woods racing, not flying off giant jumps.
Yeah, just nice touches like that.
Stay like that. Just come to you just a little bit. That's good.
right, Mike and John just finished up a few finishing touches. The foot pegs, you did the CDI.
Coil, foot pegs, carb, radiator mounts, and I think that was it for today.
Okay, and so in front of us here we have a table of parts still to be bolted onto the machine, plus we're waiting on a few other things. Talk about what we're looking at here.
So this is just the rest of the stuff, but these are your radiator shrouds, so we can't put this on until we get the radiator tomorrow. This is the silencer, we gotta wait though. Can't put the subframe on until we get the rear shock on. This is the gas tank, you know, and then just a bunch of little stuff, tiny stuff.
Sure.
So a couple brakes, but we can't do that yet. But yeah, she's close.
We're close.
We're very close.
All right, so that pretty much concludes part one of this build. As you can see, we do have some more to put on here, but Mike has a promo he wants to promote.
Yeah, so I'm sponsored by Blood Racing. Their oil is the best, I think. They gave me a promo code to offer all the Nioa guys. So if anybody wants to try it, the promo code is Nioa25. You can go on their website, type in the promo code, and you get 25% off any of their stuff.
Great deal, so thank you for sharing that promo code. I also want to thank John Eckhart from
thanks, buddy.
4E Racing for stepping in and helping do some wrenching on this project. We're very excited to show you the final finished build. I mean, this is, I said it before, a wet dream for a lot of guys our age, because we all wanted 250Rs blinged out, and guys like Chris Borich, and this one was
Brad Page replica.
Guys like that pioneered this quad and how it represented the GNCC racers. It's an icon machine.
Yes.
I mean, this is something people are going to stop and just stare at once it's finished. So we can't wait to show you the final product. So stay tuned for that. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. And normally I say we'll see you at the races, but at this one, we'll see you back here. We'll see you back here at the shop.
And thanks Drew for doing these videos. You know, he does a great job. He does all of our racing videos, and
It's a lot of fun.
We appreciate it.
Cross country racing, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.